Alright guys, so this is my Hammer of the Ancients build for taking on the Abattoir. It's unkillable as long as you're killing things. It's not one of those builds that you can just sit there and take a million hits and heal over and over and over again. This one is virtually unkillable as long as you are actually killing things. It just has higher DPS than those builds are capable of. Because I don't know about you guys, I don't want to sit there and just be like tickling something all day. It uses a lot of Ubers, so you're gonna have to have Ubers. If not, I don't know how the build would function without. I think it would function. I think it would function fine without Harlequin Crest, but I don't think it functions well without a Grandfather. But anyway, let's get over to it. It's not. I want to make a like upheaval or double swing or death blow build. I'm kind of tired of doing Hammer of the Ancients, so that'll be coming up. That's just taking a little bit more time than I thought it would. So I threw this build together this morning just to have something to put out there and have something that I know can do it if I can't accomplish the double swing. Double swings where I'm leaning towards. But anyway, let's get over to the actual build. Alright, let's start out with the gear. I mean, as you can see, there's a lot of Ubers and Uniques, but get the stuff in between here. We got Shaco, of course. Like I said, I think you can get away without Shaco. You can't get away without Grandfather or Selig, but you get away without the Shaco. Chest armor wise, I have total armor, max life, damage reduction from close. You could probably change out max life for like damage reduction while fortified, but I already had this chest plate, so that's what I went with. Go down to the gauntlets. I have Edge Masters on here. It's got attack speed, crit chance, overpower, and Hammer of the Ancients. You could possibly change Edge Masters to something. If you have a 20%er, not so much, but I just have the default one rolled on there. But anyway, Tibalt's Will, of course, to get the multiplicative damage. Then we got Relentless Berserkers, so damaging enemy with a core skill can extend your berserking. And then we have a bunch of resistances and damage reduction while injured. My poison resistance is like really low on here. If you have a higher one with this build, you'll max out on poison, but I don't because my poison resistance is booty rolled. And then Limitless Rage on the Mace with all stats overpowered, close, and berserking. Then we have Ancestral Force on the one hand. Same thing except for strength instead of all stats. Then we got a Doombringer. You could probably get away without the Doombringer. I'm not sure, to be honest. It gives a lot of percentage of maximum life, but I guess you could probably make up for that maximum life by moving some stuff around in the Paragon board if you wanted to. Then Grandfather, of course. We have rubies here, sapphires here. Ring of Red Freer, of course, to guarantee crits. Because when you lose, this right here, when you lose life and instead it takes resource, that counts as spending it. So you'll pretty much just always crit. Melted Heart of Selig, and then the One Ring. Unrelenting Fury on here. I think you might be better off using Starlight. I'm not sure because I don't have a Starlight to test this, but in theory, I think Starlight is better. But I have Unrelenting Fury on here, and then I have CC, Critical Strike damage, damage while berserking, and Resource Gen. Resource Gen, damage while berserking, and crit chance are the ones that matter the most. Crit damage can be changed with like damage to close or. I think damage to close was probably better, actually. That's probably your best bet, but I have this ring, so. We're going to go to Vampiric Powers. We got Metamorphosis, Blood Boil, Sanguine Brace, Resilience, and Prey on the Weak. Resilience is super important. You don't really lose a whole lot of life, but it does still help. Blood Boil for guaranteed overpower, and then Fortify, Unstoppable, extra damage to vulnerable enemies. Then we have the two-handed axe expertise. Skill tree wise, I'm just trying to breeze through this real quick. But this doesn't really matter because we don't use a basic. Just put 2 somewhere. Come down here, all into Hammer of the Ancients up to Furious Hammer of the Ancients, and that's the only thing we got in the core skills. We got Rallying Cry and then Tactical Rallying Cry, which is actually super important. This is going to give you the best resource gen when you're not berserking. Iron Skin. So Iron Skin is there just in case. There's been a couple of moments in the build where they've actually broke through all of my Fury. It rarely happens, and then you just immediately Iron Skin, and it just like it resets essentially. Nothing has like ever really chipped me down too far in this build. Outburst and Tough as Nails. So Tough as Nails, this helps, I guess, with your disobedience as well, but this actually, you just want to inflict bleeding on them to get some extra damage reduction from the Paragon board that I added that you'll see in a second. But what's the most important here is actually inflicting bleeding. Challenging Shout into Tactical Challenging Shout, 3 into Swiftness, and then Power War Cry. Booming Voice to make the shouts go longer, but we don't grab either of these. Come down here, and then Aggressive Resistance and Prolific Fury. Pit Fighter, 3 into Counter Offensive. Pretty standard stuff here. This group right here of Heavy Handed, Brute Force, and Wallop. And then we have Wrath of Berserker. This is insanely important right here. Invigorating Fury. This is what keeps you alive, pretty much. But doing the little loop where... So, this counts as spending Fury, so actually using Hammer of the Ancients and losing resources life, you'll just constantly gain your life back. And then Unbridled Rage. And lastly, Paragon. We have Ire in the starting board. Grabbing the max life note down here as well. Coming up, grab the damage while berserking stuff. This is pretty standard. This is the same across pretty much every build. We have Might here. And Carnage. Then we come over here. Warbringer. This is where things are a little weird, but come up through here. We got Wrath in here as well. We have just enough to grab the critically strike generating Fury. And we also grabbed the resistance and the physical damage. But come down here, grab all this stuff. This is, again, what keeps the build going. Just like my other Hammer of the Ancients build, except for you're using it as live. But yeah, Fury on kill stuff and Max Fury for damage from Furious Hammer of the Ancients. Come through here, grab, again, every time you spend 75 Fury, you gain Fortify. So spending Fury counts when you lose life. So you just pretty much constantly Fortify. And then come down here, grab the Fire Resistance and Max Life stuff. Come up here, grab this Max Life and Max Fury, come up to Bonebreaker. We have Exploit and Bonebreaker just to guarantee that we vulnerable, even though we're not using Decimator anymore. There's still the, you deal extra damage to vulnerable enemies. I can't remember which one it is. It's like Heavy Handed or Wallop. No, it's Wallop, isn't it? Anyway. So we have Exploit in there, come up through here, grab the Legendary Node so we can guaranteed overpower. And then last board here, which is Blood Rage. We only have 5 boards, which feels really strange, but got Blood Rage. Grab the node, grab the damage while berserking, come up, and this is where I was talking about with the damage reduction from bleeding. It's not a lot, it's like 12%, but you also do damage to bleeding, so I guess it's worth it. But that's the reason I used the Thorns. Coming up through here, and we have Crusher in here. It's pretty straightforward, pretty basic. Again, it feels weird only having 5 boards. Like I said, this build, it's unkillable as long as you keep moving. You have to keep moving, you have to keep hitting stuff. If you stand still, you can tank for a second, but that's really about it. But as long as you're going and you're hitting things constantly and berserking constantly, like your HP just doesn't move. But I feel like it does a lot more damage than if I did the build where you can just sit there and face tank all day. I appreciate anybody that watched. Again, make sure you guys tune in, like, comment, subscribe, all that shit. We're going to be doing, hopefully, Double Swing here soon. I have the build with Double Swing where it kills stuff, but like it just has a lot of moments where you start to die. And then you just like can't crawl your way out of it like you could with this build. So that's something I got to work out, hopefully work out. If not, we'll be going Upheaval, and then if that doesn't work, Deathblow, because of this Heart of Selig thing. The thing that makes your Deathblow do a lot of damage when you spend Fury. You usually have to have a core skill with that so you can spend Fury, but you don't have to. Because you're losing life, and that's losing your Fury, so you just got to get Fury generation, and then your Deathblow can like absolutely destroy things. Anyway, I'm rambling. I appreciate anybody who watched the video. Again, build link in the description and all of that. Everybody have a good day.